It's hard to give advice. I think the core things are still the same. You have to have an incredible belief. If you really believe in what you're doing and you really have a vision of where you want to be, you have a good chance of getting there. The rest of it is all just, embroidery, really. It's what's inside you and what you want to say. And I think, really, if your aim is just being famous, then forget it, because being famous is nothing. It doesn't mean anything, But if you have something to say, and if you have something, if you have something in mind that you want to communicate, then you will do it.
To be completely honest with themselves about what they don't know. Do you know all the scales? The answer is no. Well, then what are you going to do about it? And so it's really quite obvious. We just have to be very straightforward with ourselves, and that's how we arrange our practicing.
The level of achievement that we have at anything is a reflection of how well we were able to focus on it. Because the only thing that's holding you back is the way you're thinking.
I don't know. I don't really live on compliments. Matter of fact, it has a way of distracting me. And a whole lot of other musicians and artists that are out there today, they hear all these compliments, they say, wow, it must have been really great. So they get fat and satisfied, and they get lost, and they forget about the actual talent that they have, and they start living into another world,
Never play to the gallery, I think. But you never learn that until much later on, I think. But never work for other people at what you do. Always remember that the reason that you initially started working was that there was something inside yourself that you felt that if you could manifest it in some way, you would understand more about yourself and how you coexist with the rest of society. And I think it's terribly dangerous for an artist to fulfill other people's expectations. I think they generally produce their worst work when they do that. And the other thing I would say is that if you feel safe in the area that you're working in, you're not working in the right area. Always go a little further into the water than you feel you're capable of being in. Go a little bit out of your depth. And when you don't feel that your feet are quite touching the bottom, you're just about in the right place to do something exciting.
If you're playing to a metronome, I'd be lousy too. I think it's a matter of don't be too afraid of counting and all of that. Don't worry about that. Just put it where you feel it. I mean, you can jump. Most of my stuff is either jumping in front of the beat slightly or dragging it back. It depends, as I say, who you're playing with. You can't do this with any old drummer, but there are a lot of good drummers out there. But I mean, I'm blessed with being playing all of my pressure with Charlie Watts, Steve Jordans, and Georgie Rossellis and Zigaboo Melodistos. I mean. So I've never, so in a way, what's your drummer like? He might be the one screwing you, you know what I mean? And if you're working with a metronome, forget about it, play around it.
First of all, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself because no one else matters. There's nobody else that matters. It's just over if you start looking to other people. So that's what I think. The other thing you have to be willing to do, and you have to really be able to embrace it and accept it, and really welcome it into your life with open arms and a wide vision, is failure. Be sure to welcome failure. Always say, you're okay with me, failure, come on in. Because then you have no fear. And if you have no fear, and you believe in yourself, and you only listen to yourself, you are number one. Everything else is behind you. Your name is on it. It's your life. It's your film. Everybody else be damned.
How you should do this, or your friends will tell you should do that, or the press will tell you, or whatever they call the media now. Sometimes you get good stuff, sometimes you get really bad stuff. And you should never get affected by either one, because what the most important thing is you find what you love. You find what you love, and you do that. And you totally ignore water off a duck, everything. You cannot be worrying about what other people think. Because then if you do that, you're never going to get, you got to be second-guessing yourself all the time. You have to be sure that what you do is what you love to do. Because if you love it, at least you love it, And maybe another 100,000 people love it too, and some other people might not like it. It doesn't matter, because you have to express what you want to express. You only live once. You know, it's the most important thing.
I do like to hear someone reaching for something, you know, not quite making it, and sometimes they do make it, and they're very polished. Like with Joe Satriani, he's a very polished player, almost too polished. That's what worries me sometimes. But it's different strokes for different folks, as an enemy of mine used to say.
The most important thing was to learn how to tune it.
There, now we're in business.
The second man was teaching you how to play a D chord, which is 3 fingers on the guitar, which you then strum, and then he sang some words. So you could do a song instantly with just 1 chord.
Where you sleep? I said, sit your guitar right behind your head. That's like your pillows over there. I said, sit your guitar in that corner there. Sleep is right at your head. I said, you start going, you're learning just like that. You might not believe that, but that's right. That's right. I don't know what it does, but I know it.
Well, maybe it's because if you keep it near, you play it more often. Instead of maybe just once a day or something like that, you'd be playing when you go to bed and when you get up, as long as it's right near and handy.
It seems like to take effect somewhere.
John means love that guitar as much as you do your wife, and then you'll learn how to play.
Good, right, right, right.